اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربنا زدنا علما يا فتاح يا عليم افتح لنا فتحا قريبا آمين يا رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is the part 2 of the recording of the topic Tanbeehat, the points to be aware of. And we learned that there are places in the Quran where Imam Hafs has read words in two ways, or there are other words which are special for Imam Hafs. So we covered the surah from Surah Ash-Shura till Ahqaf in the previous recording, and from today inshallah we'll be covering the remaining surahs, which will include Surah Al-Fath till An-Nas. So let's move on inshallah. From Surah Al-Fath, we see that Imam Hafs has read two words different from the other Qurra. For example, the word alayhi, he changed the haraka of the ha damir, which is also called ha al-kinaya, with a dhamma. As a rule, the ha should get a kasra because there is a ya sakina before it. So we say alayhi normally. But Imam Hafs has read this with a dhamma. Alayhullah. This is ayah 10 of Surah Al-Fath. And another place, Surah Al-Kahf, ayah number 63, Imam Hafs has read the ha al-damir or ha al-kinaya with the dhamma again. وَمَا أَنسَانِيهُ أَنسَانِيهُ, not nihi. This is different from the other Qurra. So it's called exception to the rule. This is special for Imam Hafs. عليه الله وما أنسانيه. Then we have Surah Al-Hujurat, ayah number 11. There is a word bi'salismu. Okay, so two ways to start from this word lismu. If you are to begin from this word, we see that Hamzatul Wasl is in the beginning, it's written there, but the letter after it is not sakin. And the rule is when we have a Hamzatul Wasl, it comes in the beginning of the word which begins with the sukun. But here the letter is not, the word is not beginning with the sakin letter, it has a kasra already. This letter has a kasra already. So therefore, when you are starting from this word, you have two ways. Either you give a fatha to the Hamzatul Wasl and read alismu, because normally we give a fatha to the Hamzatul Wasl when there is a lam after it. Even though this lam is mutaharrik, it is got a kasra under it, so we can give a fatha to the Hamzatul Wasl and read it as alismu, or completely delete in pronunciation the Hamzatul Wasl and read lismu because the lam has a kasra. So lismu. So two ways to begin from this word. Lismu or alismu. In Surah Qaf, we have the word al-aikati. The same word with the same meaning is used in Surah Hijr, ayah number 78, al-aikati. There's another place, two places in fact, in Surah Ash-Shu'ara, ayah 176, and Surah Sad, ayah number 13. The word is written without Hamzatul Wasl in the beginning, as you can see here, and here as well. So when you're reading, when you're doing an ibtida, when you're starting from this word, you will be reading Hamzatul Wasl with a fatha. Normally we give a fatha to the Hamzatul Wasl. Al-aikati, al-aikati. Here there is Hamzatul Wasl missing. Therefore we need to bring in the Hamzatul Wasl to read this word. Al-aikati, al-aikati. If you are in a testing situation, you're being tested by a teacher, or for your own knowledge as well, you need to remember there are four places of the same word with the same meaning where in two places it begins with the Hamzatul Wasl, and there are two places it doesn't have a Hamzatul Wasl written. But if we are starting from this word, we will give it a Hamzatul Wasl. We know when we are joining, we don't need to read Hamzatul Wasl in the middle. Therefore, Ashabul Aikati, you can join the bu to the lam directly. Ashabul Aikati, Ashabul Aikati. In all of those places, the word is Ashabu before them. Surat Al-Dhariyat, ayah number 47. We have the word bi'aidin. We can see this circled letter. We have this is called Sifar Mustadir, means this letter when it carries a tilted circle which is not completely round. This letter will always be silent. You will never read it. So therefore, we will consider the ya sakina and then the dal after it. So when you are doing a waqf on this word, you will be reading as mad leen arid lisakun, because there is a leen. I is a leen letter. Ya sakina preceded by fatha is a leen letter, and you will be stopping on the dal, turning it into sukun, a sakin letter. So this will be mad leen, mad arid lisakun, mad leen arid lisakun. So this can be stretched for 2, 4 or 6 harakat long. Bi aidin. Let me explain you here that in some places or the books or by some teachers, you will not hear the word madleen arili sukun. They might prefer saying madleen. And there are other teachers who would say madleen arili sukun, because for them the dal is a temporary sakin letter, because it originally is got a kasratain under it. So when you're turning it into sakin, this sukun is temporary, so it's arid. So therefore this leen has become mad leen due to temporary sukun after it. So they give it a name, leen arili sukun. We have Surat At-Tur, ayah number 37. This word, al-musaytiruna, this can be read with the sad or with the sin, because we see the sad written on top. So Imam Hafs has given preference to the sad in pronunciation and not to the sin, even though it can be read with the sin as well. Here in Surat An-Najm, and there are other places as well, where we see the combination of the tanween with the Hamzatul Wasl in the next word. The word is starting with the Hamzatul Wasl. So you can see Hamzatul Wasl always come in the beginning of the word where the word is starting with the sukun. So we have the meeting of two sukuns now. The lam is sakin and the tanween is a noon sakina sound. So when you break it down, you'll see adan is actually in pronunciation like this. A, dal, fatha, noon, sakin, dan. Adan. So this sukun will be cancelled and you will give a kasra to the noon. It becomes ni. So like this. Adani. Adani. Because two sakin letters cannot meet, we need to give a haraka to the first sakin letter if it's not a mad letter. So tanween will be changed into noon kasra ni sound, and then the ni will be joining to the lam. So adanil ula. Whenever you see the combination, two meeting letters are in this situation, both are sakin, and if the first sakin letter is a tanween, give it a kasra. Adani, adani. And then the ni will be joining to the letter after it, the word after it. Then we have Surat Ar-Rahman. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ. So let's break it down. For the ayyi, there is no mad, but it's a nabar. Whenever we have a ya with the shutdown it, or even a waw with the shutdown it, we give it a nabar. Nabar means you raise the sound, you raise the pitch of your sound before you connect the letter before the mushaddad letter. So here, if we are stopping on this ya, we will say fabi ay, like that. So the kasra will be dropped, obviously, but the shadda will stay. فبأي. أي, you will make a little louder sound. Here we have mad badal. We have a mad alif preceded by hamza, so it's mad badal. Originally there were two hamzas, but the second hamza has been changed into a mad letter. That's why it's called mad badal. Then we have mad muttasil. So when you are doing a waqf on mad muttasil, it becomes mad muttasil arid lis-sukun. Because as I said earlier, the hamza will turn into a temporary sakin letter. The sukun will be temporary. So therefore it will be muttasil, but due to stopping on the hamza will be muttasil due to arid lis-sukun, due to temporary sukun. So mad muttasil arid lis-sukun. And if you're continuing without stopping, this will be simple mad muttasil. And you can stretch it either for 4 harakat or 5 harakat long. In Surah Al-Hadid, we have the word Al-Masir, Al-Masir. So when you're stopping, you make the tarqiq because of the ya before it, mad ya before it. But waslan, when you're continuing, the ra is carrying a dhamma, so it will be read with full tafkhim. We have the word i'lamu anna Allah yuhyi al-arda. So when starting from Hamzatul Wasl, you give it a kasra. Hamzatul Wasl will get a kasra because the third letter has a fatha. So we give it a kasra. We give fatha to the Hamzatul Wasl only when there is a lam after it. So there is no lam, so therefore no fatha on Hamzatul Wasl. Give it a kasra. On this word, when you're stopping, you have two ways. Either to follow the writing style of the word, because originally there are two yas. Yuhyi, that's the original word. But because it's joining with the word after it, so the little tiny ya after it is cancelled in writing. So if you're stopping on this word without continuing, you have two allowed ways. Either to make the ya sakin here and read with a single ya, yuhi, or you can bring the original ya, a mini ya after it, like here, and stretch it. Yuhyi, yuhyi. In case of stretch, this will be called mad tamkeen, means the two yas coming together. The first ya of that is mutaharrik and the second one is a mad letter, so therefore you will be calling it mad tamkeen. Here, Surah Al-Qalam, ayah number 6, we have the first ya is merged into the second one. It's a complete idgham. So, bi'ayyikumu, bi'ayyi. So this ya is merged into the second ya. So, this is called idgham saghir mutamathil. And it's kamil because it's fully merged. In Surah Al-Haqqa, we have the word ha'umu. This is mad muttasil, and we can stretch it for 4 harakat, 4 or 5 harakat long. Here, hani'a or hani'an or hani'am if you're reading a ba after it. So let's see how many mads do we have. So first one is a madya. Hani, madya is followed by the hamza and it's in the same word. So we say it's mad muttasil, waqfan and waslan because it's in the middle of the word. So stretch it for 4 or 5 harakat long. Hani. And then here, if you're stopping, it will be mad badal. Hani-a. If you're continuing, you will be applying the qalb rule because the tanween has been changed into the meme because the ba is in the next word. Hani-am, and then you apply the ghunna accordingly. But due to waqf, it's mad badal. This is another place. How do you connect and how do you stop and what's the rule applying in these two ayahs? So if you are stopping at the end of the first ayah, you say anni maliyah and you take a breath. But if you're continuing waslan, we have two allowed ways. Either to apply a sakt, which is a sakt jais. That's why we have a sin written there. It's a breathless pause, and then you read the next one. Anni maliya halaka, like that. Or you can do the idgham. The first ha sakina will be merging into the ha mutaharik after it. So idgham mithlain. Anni maliya halaka, like that. In Surah Al-Qiyamah, we have the sakt again. This is sakt wajib. We must do the breathless pause on the man. وَقِيلَ مَنْ رَاقُ. Imam Hafs has applied the sakt on the man to avoid merging of the noon sakina into the ra after it. So we should apply it when we're reading it according to Riwayah Hafs. Surat Al-Insan, ayah number 4, we have two allowed ways to stop on this word, salasila. So this alif with the tilted circle shows there are two ways. This is one of the 7 alifat, where we will be stretching the last letter with the alif due to the 7 alifat where Imam Hafs has stretched it. In continuation, we don't make it long. So except for this word where we have two allowed ways. So when we say salasila with the alif after it, it becomes mad tabi'i, 2 harakat long. Or the other one is delete the alif altogether. Salasil, make the lam sakin. Salasil. And this is the preferred way of reading it. In Surat Al-Insan again, we have the same word, same meaning, but the circle on the letter is different. This is one of the 7 alif where the circle is all rounded, and this will be read in waqf, you will making it long. But here, this is a tilted circle. This circle is always silent. You will not make the ra long, whether you stop on it or whether you continue from this word. So for this is called sifar mustatil, but this sifar is called mustadir. So we'll stretch it for 2 harakat when stopping. Qawarira, like that. When you're stopping on this word, the alif, as I said, is sakin. So we'll stopping on qawarir, making the ra even light, tarqiq, and sakin. Qawarir, and it'll be mad ari lis-sukun. In Surat Al-Ghashiyah, we have the word bimusaytir, and there is only one way of reading this word according to Imam Hafs. The sad will be read because there's no other choice. Bimusaytir. There's only one way of reading the sad, this word with the sad. In Surat Al-Alaq and Surat Yunus, in Surat Yusuf, we have ayah number 32. These two words, this one, wala yakunan, is from Surat Yusuf, and lanasfa'an is from Surat Al-Alaq. These are the two verbs, they are not nouns. So normally we have the tanween that comes at the end of the nouns, but not in verbs, but these are the exceptions. So the exception is that tanween is found in the verbs, and the noon, the tanween has a noon sound, it's a noon sakina sound. This noon sakina sound is for emphasis. This is to stress on the meaning, to make it look more important, and it has the importance is given to the meaning of the ayah, to the word. What is meant by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here is to emphasize, to give it more importance, what is being said. So, wala yakunan and lanasfa'an. When we are stopping, basically, we'll be stopping the same way how we stop on fatha tanween. So we'll say wala yakuna lanasfa'an. When you're continuing, when you're stopping, you say lanasfa'a. So the stopping is the same like mad iwad. When you stop for the fathatain, you make it long. We have Surat Al-Ikhlas. Here, the special rule for Imam Hafs is that he has read this waw with the fathatain, kuf 1, and other Qurra have read this with the Hamza on it, kufu'an, but Imam Hafs has read it with the Waw, kufuwan. That is special for Imam Hafs. With this, Alhamdulillah, we'll come to the end of our session. Inshallah ta'ala, we'll continue next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.